Ladies and gentlemen, we are now looking at a Raw from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I don't know what to make of this show. A lot of people are going to say, damn, this was an incredible show. Yes! Yes! We finally got something good. But when I look at this show, ladies and gentlemen, I look at this show from a perspective of someone who wants to have the full experience of loving wrestling. Not just having good matches, good story arcs, good in-ring feuds, good promo segments, good as much as you can get out of a wrestling promotion. And when I look at this situation that the WWE has put themselves in, they have literally shot themselves in the foot so people would look at them. And now, from now on, they're going to start bleeding heavily. Now, I could be 100% wrong about this. This could actually work, and you know what I'm talking about. But let's get through all the other stuff first. When you look at the beginning of this show, when it comes to most of the matches, they were really afterthoughts. When you look at Dolph and Dean, that was an afterthought. Even though there was something you could say okay for Kevin Owens, it just makes me think that when it comes to Royal Rumble, or before that, you're going to have Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler for the IC Championship. The match really isn't the question here. Did they have a good match? Not a great match. It was okay. The point is that now there are 3 guys who are involved in a feud instead of just 2. If Dolph hadn't rolled back into the ring and started fighting a Kevin Owens, we would not have a possible triple threat. Now I'm putting out Fatal 4-Way. Triple threat for the IC Championship. And I believe that's not going to get Kevin Owens over, and definitely not Dean. And the little talk he had after that with JoJo, who is so damn cute. Oh, she's such a beautiful woman. Wasn't that good. He kind of breathed like he was smelling coke. What the hell was that? He sounded like he was snorting coke. But that's just me. The Ryback and Jack Swagger versus the League of Nations, which is Del Rio and Rusev, was not good. That was not good. That match made no sense whatsoever. It just tried to make the League of Nations dominant, and it didn't work. Now, I'm trying not to shit. I'm sorry for my cursing, but I'm trying not to dump on Del Rio and Rusev, but come on. They didn't do very well with Rusev and TLC at all. No one got over in that match. They didn't do that well when it came to Jack and Del Rio because Zed Coulter was not there, and he didn't just turn to Jack at the last minute, or Del Rio said it on TLC instead of SmackDown. No one watched SmackDown, so that didn't work well. So meshing these 2 groups together did not work. It was terrible. It just was. I'm sorry, it just was terrible. Now, if it was because Zed just couldn't travel, it's understandable, but Zed's been traveling a lot, so why not? Anyway, Neville versus Tyler Breeze. The only reason I'm mentioning this is that Neville is now supposedly messing with The Miz because The Miz wants a role in a movie where he talks British, which is supposed to be the next James Bond show. Movie. I'm botching this because this is stupid for The Miz and this is stupid for Neville. I really don't see anything good here unless I'm wrong, okay? If I'm wrong, fine. I'll eat crow. I want to see The Miz get somewhere and I want to see Neville, but I don't see nothing here. Oh, now I got to get to the stuff that really made no sense. ECW versus the Wyatts. I don't know why I said Team Extreme in my TLC review because that was Lita, that was Matt and Jeff. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry about that. But it kind of made me just think about something extreme, so I just came up with Team Extreme. So I'm very sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, if anyone knows about that. But when you look at this match, this was a repeat of last night, but it's done in Philly. And the Philadelphia crowd always chants for something ECW. I'm sorry, guys. Guys. I'm not against anybody from Philly. I have relatives that live in Pennsylvania right now. But anyone who's a wrestling fan, you got to stop doing the chants for ECW. I know they're still epic in some ways, but this was not a great match. There was no blood, and it was very tame. It was. The promo segment beforehand from both of them wasn't that good. I know that Bubba Ray, the Bully Ray, can cut a good promo, but when it came to everyone else, it just felt a little lacking. And this match felt lacking, particularly that the Wyatts won again. What was the point of this? The Wyatts did not get over here. So it was a waste. Bree and Fox versus the Flairs. The only reason I'm calling Becky a Flair is because eventually, if she doesn't turn on Charlotte, she's going to be Team Flair. So I'm just going to call them, for the moment, the Flairs. Now, I said last night in my TLC review that Rick felt more important than Charlotte. Now, I saw Duckman's own review of the entire show, and I had to think about what he said. Trying to satisfy her father, and that is Charlotte. Trying to emulate him, to satisfy him, to show that this is Daddy's little girl, does seem very compelling. But when I saw this match, it wasn't even more than 3 or 4 minutes long. And it was Becky who gets the pin instead of Charlotte getting the pin over Brie herself. I know that's kind of pushing it because Charlotte really is already way over Brie. And I know they're Brie fans and there are Nikki fans. I'm not shitting on the Bella twins. I'm just being honest. Brie isn't doing much. And even though they're doing the yes chants when she kicks, that's because of Daniel Bryan, not because of her. If they cared about her, they would do the Brie mode when she does the knee into someone's face when they're up against the ring ropes. That's the truth. She does the kicks more than she does the Brie mode on the ring rope. And that's the truth. But I would have thought that Charlotte wouldn't have to struggle so badly with this. And that's why I felt there was a problem. Charlotte had to struggle. Charlotte should not be struggling since she's Flair's daughter. She should be dominating. She should be being really dirty. And I understand Deluxe Man, if I'm pronouncing his name right. I'm sorry if I'm not. If anyone says something to him saying, this guy who's talking about you can't pronounce your name right. Dude, I'm bad with names. I'm sorry. But I see his point of view. But I just feel like they rushed it. That's my problem with this. They rushed this situation with her turning heel, and even though it's compelling, it's so rushed. It just doesn't feel like she's even gotten her head wrapped around how to be the character of basically a daddy's little girl trying to satisfy the dirtiest player in the game type of character. And I just feel like she's not there, even though it looks like they're going there easily. That's just me. What was the things I liked about this show? The New Day. The New Day in their segment with the Lucha Dragons and the Usos was the best thing I loved about this show. They did get the crowd to a certain point over from them. They put over the Lucha Dragons, they put over the Usos, and in the end, the Usos and Lucha Dragons beat the crap out of them, and they were booed for it because New Day is so over, and New Day rocks. I have to say it because I do love the New Day. I hated their gimmick, now I love their gimmick, and I'm happy that they turned crap into diamonds and gold. They did. Second thing I liked about the show was, really liked, seeing that they did something different with Team Bad. Put them in the audience. I don't know if they're going somewhere with this. Probably they're not. They're probably doing nothing. And that was during that tag team match. It was extremely short. But they did focus on them. And I don't know if they will go anywhere with this. This might be nothing. But at least it was something entirely different. Compared to what happened last night on the kickoff show, where you made these women do something that's way out of their character and out of their comfort zone, and it looked horrible. If they did come up with this, girls, please don't do that again. If they were forced to do this, that was freaking stupid, WWE. It was. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm not going to talk about R-Truth and Bo Dallas. It really doesn't matter. Because they didn't even have a match. This was about Vince getting Roman Reigns over. We had Triple H get Roman Reigns over last night. Then we got Vince getting Roman Reigns over throughout the night. The opening segment with Steph was not bad. Actually, it wasn't a lot of talking. That was the part I liked. It was physical. Smacking the crap out of Roman Reigns about 8 times was actually very effective. It wasn't a talking segment like we normally do. It was something different, and I did enjoy it. Vince coming out, strolling out and saying, "Get the hell out of my ring. Get out." Telling Bo, telling R-Truth, and telling the ref, "Get out of my ring." I'm fine with that. That was okay. When it came to that segment, seeing Sheamus there made sense and didn't at the same freaking time. Let's be honest here. The match itself, I'm not going to talk about because there's no point in talking about it. Yeah, it was interesting to see Roman Reigns bleed again. Because he did bleed a while ago before when he was in, Royal Rumble. He bled because Dean Ambrose popped him in the nose. But the point of this entire situation is here. Did the WWE make the right call on letting him have the championship now? You just put him over to a certain extent. I said partially over last night because it takes a little time to get someone totally over. This was Boston, and they just went to Pennsylvania. They just went to one of the most iconic places for wrestling, Philadelphia. I would have wanted this to be at least a little bit of a build going into Royal Rumble. He needed time to really get over. One night is not always enough to get someone over. And we got it, and then we got a match, and then he wins. The WWE, I believe, has just shot themselves in the foot to get attention. Literally. They just shot themselves in the fucking foot. This is how I feel about it. I'm ranting about this because I do not believe they made the wisest decision here. You know who they did that with once? Sheamus. And who they did that even years before that? Diesel. When I'm saying about Diesel, because Mr. Bob Backlund once had the title, and within a few days, he had to drop it to Diesel. Instead of letting them run that little time with him, after winning it, when he didn't do anything with the company for several years, he dropped it to Diesel, who, to a point, is a good talent. But it was always politicking with him. When it came to Sheamus, this wasn't about politicking. They wanted to make a new star quickly. And in this case, Sheamus was given a title and he did absolutely nothing with it. And they dropped his ass, brought him back up, dropped him again, brought him back up. And this is where he is today. Having that freaking mohawk, having those tassels on his face, not being a true Celtic warrior, being a bitch, being more of a punk rocker than anything else. Excuse me. So when I see this situation with Roman Reigns, they made a horrible mistake. Now, I could still be wrong about this, and even though it's only 2 days for him being over and then getting the title, he could make something out of this. But let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's coming. You know what is coming. John Cena has not been seen. He's not off the roster. He hasn't retired. He hasn't quit. He's coming back. What do you think is going to happen with John Cena versus Roman Reigns? It's going to happen. Del Rio is not going to keep that title long, so John Cena will have that title. But eventually, John is going to drop that title, and if Roman has that title, they're going to turn his ass heel. They will. They're going to turn his ass heel. And the minute they do, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to fuck him over. And that's if he doesn't get fucked over before that happens. Because I'm botching so badly. Because they're rushing so badly because of the ratings. I know. Deluxe Man said it best. I think he said 2.15 rating. Usually they get over 3 million views usually a week. They're in the 2 category. They are terrified right now that their ratings are going to tank even more. So they decide to do a short-term thing with Roman Reigns, give him the freaking title, and see what happens. And I believe this is going to fail. They are not going to book him properly, and eventually they're going to feed him to Cena when he returns. Because that's what it usually happens. And this is sad. They could have done something very good with Roman Reigns. If Stephanie had just fired him, or if he just lost that match, they could do something so different and giving at least a month's build. At least a month's build. You could have something very substantial with Roman Reigns. 2 days, counting the day he gets the title. 2 freaking days of getting over. And they throw the freaking title on him. And now I believe they fucked him over. And I know a lot of people that watch my video reviews, they're pretty much happy about it. I believe Beth Nicole might be pretty happy about this. I'm saying this to Beth. And I actually respect her because she has a very good point of view. Even though she does no videos, I still believe she has a very good point of view. Beth, I'm saying this honestly. I know you like Roman. I like him. But tell me honestly, do you actually believe the WWE is going to book this guy properly after only 2 days of getting over? And most of the time, they're going to screw him up lovely. Unless Vince is going to be involved and Triple H, which I know he will eventually be involved, I don't believe they're going to book him right. They're going to write his promos for him so he's going to sound stupid. And whenever he does have a moment to be able to say his own piece, it'll probably be very short because they're going to cut him off with something else. Probably getting beat up by somebody or having to fight somebody. They're going to book this man badly. I believe this is a short-term gain, way long-term loss for the WWE. They shot themselves in the foot because they don't want to go to war anymore. They want to run away. But then they don't make it to the medical tent in time and they bleed to death. I know this sounds really weird and very graphic, but this is how I feel about it. But this is just my point of view. Tell me below how you feel. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Please give me a comment below. My first Booking the Wrestler of Sheamus should come out either tonight or tomorrow. Probably Wednesday it'll come out. It'll be the first video in a 3-part series. And I have several videos ready for you guys. I am very psyched on doing this if any of my stuff sounds right, because I admit I botched a lot, because even though I had figured out what I want to say, I kind of got excited and messed up. So I hope you enjoyed these video reviews. I hope you enjoyed Booking the Wrestler. You see, I botch. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace!